All right, guys, last video in this series, just because I know I'm going to be getting these questions. So I'm going to try to address them now. Hopefully you guys actually watch this, so that way I don't have to repeat myself for the next 3 months, okay? What weight should I start with? Obviously, if you're a beginner, you're new, hopefully you've worked with myself or one of the other coaches to find a good starting weight, okay? Your good starting weight is always something that you can do with good form. It's heavy, but you know if you jump up, if you added any more weight to the bar, that the barbell speed would slow down a lot and your form would break down, okay? That's a good starting weight. Something you can do 5 reps on with good technique is always going to be your starting weight. Those of us that have been doing this program before and have been training pretty consistently throughout the summer, okay, it's going to be kind of a little bit more of a little bit different. I would say if you've been doing the squat, bench, and deadlift, and they're still moving up pretty good, pretty easily, then you can just start with that number and be fine, okay? If you're already kind of at a point where you're kind of getting close to a 5-rep max on all those, I would back down 10 to 15% of weight and then work yourself back up because, you know, you're going to be squatting multiple times throughout the week, so you're not used to that volume yet that we have. We've just been doing the lifts once a week. So if you're kind of already kind of close or near to your 5-rep maxes in a lot of your lifts, let's drop it down 10 to 15% and then build it back up, okay? So that would be your starting weight. But don't just start light because you want to take it easy for a month, okay? You still want to challenge yourself, all right? So, you know, you're going to have to kind of look at your notes, think about what you can do, talk to your coach, and come up with a good weight to start on, okay? Jumps, remember the weight jumps, okay? We're going to talk a little bit more about this later when I go over this, but typically, if you're a beginner, for the deadlift, you can make 5 to 10 pound jumps for a long time, okay? Or not long time for 10 pound jumps, but you can definitely on the deadlift do 5-pound jumps for a long time. Maybe it'll start off with 10-pound jumps, no problem. Eventually, those also will drop down to 1 or 2-pound jumps, okay? But you can run 5-pound jumps on the deadlift for a long time. Squat, I probably wouldn't start with 10-pound jumps. Just do the 5-pound jumps on the squat, okay? Again, eventually, those will also drop down to 2 or 3-pound jumps, but that's going to be a long time before that happens. So you can do 5-pound jumps pretty consistently in squats. On the bench press and the overhead press, okay, no more than 5-pound jumps, okay? You will drop down to a 3-pound, 2-pound, or a 1-pound jump a lot sooner than you will on the bench and the deadlift. It's just the way it goes. We have a lot more muscle mass here in our lower body than we do our upper body, okay? So those are going to slow down a lot quicker. So obviously always start with 5-pound jumps until you need to drop to 3, 2, or 1 reps. Another thing that you can do, this works particularly well for women, is to change your rep set, okay? So obviously drop down to 2 pounds first or whatever, but when that stops working and you're still not getting all 5 reps in, that's when you know it's time to switch to 3 reps, but do 5 sets. So you'll do 5 sets of 3 instead of 3 sets of 5. Again, especially, excuse me, for the upper body lifts, and for women, this works a lot better. Men will have to do that at some point, but for women, it just seems to work a lot better just because women can't recruit as much muscle mass in the upper body as men, just the way biology works, okay? So keep that in mind too. And then again, get stuck, talk to your coach. Speaking of getting stuck, leads me to the final point is what happens when you miss or fail a rep, okay? First of all, let's figure out it's not technique, okay? So have a coach watch, okay? Video record yourself, send it to you, so we can review back at it too. That helps as well, okay? You don't have to just record yourself to post it on the gram, all right? But if it's not a technique error, you're just missing reps, okay? Ask yourself these questions first, okay? 1, how long am I resting in between sets, okay? If you're taking like a 30, 60-minute rest, okay, then going up and you're missing your bench press or whatever, okay, probably need to take a longer break, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 minutes, okay? Don't need to be taking a 20-minute break between reps, but you may need a little bit more break in between your sets, okay? 2, how big a jump am I taking between workouts? I just went over the type of jumps you should take, okay? So this happens a lot usually with younger people. They want to get progress too fast, and they make jumps that are too big. If you're making too big of jumps, that could be an issue. You may need to drop down to 3-pound, 2-pound, 1-pound jumps. That's okay. You're still making progress, okay? But don't try to be so aggressive on 5 or 10-pound jumps, especially, okay? And stick to the program. So, don't just come in and be like, I'm gonna jump up 50 pounds today, okay? No. There's a reason why 5 pounds at a time, 2 pounds at a time is in the program. Because 1, it works, and 2, it's safe, and it's a better way to progress, okay? Incrementally. 3, how much and what am I eating, okay? So a lot of people aren't eating enough, and they're not eating it, or they're eating enough, but they're not eating the right stuff, okay? We've talked about this before. I'm not going to go in huge detail, okay? You need to have plenty of protein. You need to be eating enough calories that your body can recover from the stress that you applied. I have a food group for that, so look into that. And just a little general thing, like everybody would probably do better, unless you have a ton of weight to lose, to being on either a maintenance calorie or even a slight calorie surplus during this program. Calorie deficits don't really work that well in this program unless you have a ton of weight to lose, okay? And 4th one, very important, should go without saying, but are you sleeping enough, getting enough sleep at night, resting, stuff like that, okay? If you're not getting enough sleep at night, especially as you get deeper and deeper into this program, the program's just you're not going to be able to progress, okay? We just need sleep. Sleep's probably the most anabolic thing you can do, okay? Even more than steroids if you really think about it. So you got to have sleep in order to make this program work. You got to be resting well. If you're not getting enough sleep, you need to figure out something out. And I would give you that advice not just for your training, but just for life in general. I mean, you got to get your sleep down. So if you can't, if 3 and 4, if you can't change what you eat, if you can't get any better sleep, this program's just not going to work. You're going to have to stay at a maintenance level or something, and otherwise you're going to get hurt, or you're just going to get stalled and frustrated, okay? So figure those things out. It's very important that you figure those out for this program. It's very important, okay? Other than that, if you guys have any more questions, let me know, but let's rock it out this time. Let's have a really good, successful, I think we're going to run this for about 11 or 12 weeks, so let's get after it, guys. Appreciate y'all.